Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
So I'm finally getting around to doing a video on a vehicle that has been changed in patch 1.71. It's only been a little while, a couple weeks since that patch dropped, and I'm finally getting around to it. Yeah, some things changed, some things stayed the same. I think that the wait has been worth the while since... and I'm going to say that for a few reasons. One, the Object 120 spam has kind of subsided a little bit. The MBT spam is still there, but that was kind of expected since it's the new player sync in War Thunder. And I think particularly I've gotten a feel for how the Type 74 fits into the current meta of War Thunder, now that everything's kind of stabilized to what I think the relative populations will be moving forward. And yeah, things have changed, but they've also stayed the same. The basic playstyle is more or less the same. It has that same strong turret armor. It has that, it's not weak, but it's certainly not strong hull armor. That's still very much in its advantage. The rounds that you're used to are more or less the same, with one exception, as you can see, is the APF SDS shell. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. They've also kind of changed the research placement of said shell, so that the smoke shell is now on the same tier as a smoke grenade. And other than that, things are pretty much the same with this tank. Now, I've had a few very fun things with this thing, is that I was expecting this vehicle to have suffered a little bit moving from patch to patch. I mean, after all, it was getting up-tiered. Yes, it was getting this APF SDS shell, but we were not sure exactly how that shell would fare. I am pleased to say that this shell that they've added to the Type 74 is quite the nice shell. If you can manage to find the ammo racks on enemy vehicles, it will cook them off every single time. I don't know how this one compares to the Heat FS, per se, since I don't really use the Heat FS all that much on the STB, and I don't have that unlocked on the STB. It's something I'm interested in learning more about when it comes time, but I don't have a firm rendering on that, and I think for the time being, if I was to load up some of the Heat FS, it would displace a few of the Hess shells I have, since that received a bit of a nerf this last patch, and only a few of the APF SDS shells. And it would be reserved for those thick side targets that maybe I would have issues with penetrating on the Hess shell, but it completely over-penetrates with the APF SDS. Yeah, I'm still remembering that over-penetration I had with the T-62's APF SDS shell in that last video I did. Curse you, Panther 2. Anyway, you basically just saw one of the tried and true ways in which you can deal with opponents in the Type 74 and the STB as well. And I'll be careful to call it the STB-1 since that's what it is. And really and truly, that is the proper way to do it. You find a place, you go hold down as best as you can, and wow, okay, MBT down, MBT down. That was a close airstrike. And this kill's a little... At first, I didn't quite realize what had happened until I was watching the replay, getting ready to record this, that I had actually 50 cal'd that Object 906 to death, and that APFSDS shell I sent into him, the second one, was complete and utterly wasted. Oh well, you live, you learn. But yeah, that's the thing with the Type 74, is that it's like the Chieftain in many respects. If you're caught out in the open, you're almost vulnerable. I mean, it's not like your hull armor is garbage, but it's well known to everyone where and how to penetrate it with just about every round that they have. And you only become this amazing beast when you're hull down. I mean, granted, you have one advantage over the Chieftains in the fact that you have the hydropneumatic suspension in addition to this devastating set of rounds that you can get to carry. I mean, your default rounds are APDS, which, by the way, has no problem cleaving apart an MBT-70 from the front if you know where to aim. You have the Hess shells, which are good against soft targets in AA. You have the smoke rounds, which, you know, they can do some work. I don't suggest you go out and try to meme your way to victory, but you can do it. There's also a fair number of very useful ways to use the Heat FS shells, as I've previously talked about. And then there's the APFSDS shell, which, as you can see, has completely replaced the APDS in my lineup. And that's partially because there's just few reasons to take APDS after you get APFSDS, because the limiting cases where the APDS is the superior shell are few and far between. At least if you're aiming with the gun correctly. There are very few cases where that one would be superior. So, we've gone through this match, and it's been pretty easy. Hull down against that T-64. We machine gunned that Object 906 to death, and we ambushed that enemy, I believe it was a KPZ. KPZ-70, I mean. And put one right through the back of his turret, and you will note that, yes, APFSDS shell right into the cabin of a ZSU-23-4, and wow, it didn't nuke him. It required more 50 cal work and another APFSDS shell to finish the deal. Although, in hindsight, what I should have done was switch to the Hess shell there, just for some insurance. It wasn't completely necessary in the end. I mean, I did kill him, but switching to that Hess shell would have been a better use of ammunition, because it would have resulted in a hull break. Hull breaks are good. They means that you can shoot anywhere on that tank and, well, it's dead. Good stuff. Now, I know that AA kills are kind of meh, but oh well, it's a kill, right? There's kill number 4. I think you get an idea where I'm going with this video. I think you get an idea based on the title and, you know, what's kill number 4. Hint, hint, hint. No, / foreshadow. Alright, so I was gonna go down that junction down to towards the dam side of 38th parallel, and then got a ping on the map on the opposite side towards where the B capture point is. Yes, I know it's weird that the A is in the center and the B and the C are on the flanks, but okay, War Thunder, that makes so much sense. So I saw that blip on the map and I quickly checked who it was. Oh boy, it's someone from G Squad, and if anyone has been around War Thunder a fair bit knows the G Squad is not to be underestimated. They can really pull out the hurt if you underestimate them. Now I'm going to note something to you. The colors you're seeing on screen are a result of some editing in Adobe Premiere. I did not see that T64 as clearly as I do on this render screen. There. And I did not actually see it until he moved when I was playing this game, but in the end, it didn't matter. My shot found his ammo rack before his turret could turn around and obliterate me. Bye-bye T64, and sorry Danger, Slick is not going to save you this time. And that makes kill number 5. And yes, that is an ace game, and no deaths in return, so that's good. Overall, a very nice game. Nothing too impressive research-wise, but oh well, it's something. And yeah, it would have been better with premium account time. I know. But that's just the way it is this time. Maybe in the near future I'll go think about renewing it, but oh well. Little thing, I wouldn't ordinarily put this stuff in the chat, but you know, that person saying the MBT is king? Oh no, my son. The Type 74 is the king. You just don't know it. If you happen to like the video, shoot me a like down below, let me know in the comment section, and if you're new to the channel, please consider sticking around by hitting the big old red subscribe button down there. Alright, thank you, and have a good day.